sweet potato. I heard you say melon and sweet potato. That was very nice.
Bonobos are part of the genus Pan, second only to the more common species chimpanzee. These two species, in their Pan genus, were the last to delineate from what would later become humanity, around 6.5 million years ago, making them our closest ape cousins.
Liz, is there melon over there? Do you want sweet potato, celery? Now, you want me to get sweet potato, celery, and lettuce. And look for you right now. You can do brushing. I will be right back. I'm going
Welcome back, one and all, to the review series on YouTube that matters most, Monke in Review. Whether the weather be weathered for furry friends across our genetic branches or not, we'll be here to review the best and brightest among us. Today's primate for your consideration is the world's smartest bonobo, Kanzi. A lot about what makes us human can be seen in our eyes, it can be felt in our body language, and it can be heard in our use of advanced communication. This application of our throats that we all use and abandon is the largest separator between us and our primate counterparts. Through the use of advanced communication, we have invented and replicated tools, worked together to form cities, and wrote laws that govern entire civilizations. It may seem small to simply pop out a "these nuts" from your mouth, but other apes such as chimps and bonobos do not have this luxury. Their larynx is located higher in their throats, allowing them only to make simple pouting, shouting, clicking, and cooing sounds. Though, like with humans that have specific impairments, there are other tools that can be implemented to perform the same task as speaking. One tool is something known as a lexicon. The term lexicon is general, like the word matrix, used to describe a mode of processes. In the words of Maggie Tollerman in her 2009 publication, The Origins of the Lexicon, How a Word Store Evolved, she writes, "The human mental lexicon is the repository of many tens of thousands of distinct vocabulary items and of stored information about their word classes and their selectional and subcategorizational requirements. Even in its simplest form, before the synaptic capacity emerges, the lexicon requires a number of distinct characteristics to have evolved, such as the ability to link an abstract symbol to the concept it represents, the ability to retrieve lexical items from storage quickly, and for that retrieval to be under voluntary control. Now, the lexicon I'm referring to in this video is an outlined portable keyboard style table, consisting of symbols which correspond to objects in an artificial language called Yerkish, created for non-human primates. These lexicons have been used on apes for greater or lesser success, mostly being used to find links in mental mapping between their brains and ours. The general outcome is that all other apes have better short-term memory than us, but lack the required cognition for long-term structuring of concepts, and thus lack the ability to utilize complex language like we do. Just like humans though, every great ape is different, bringing us to our Monke in question. To start, I think it's important to mention the state that bonobos are in at the moment. They are an endangered species, even with heavy conservation efforts, and their population is at a concurrent decline. Between chimps and bonobos, chimps are the species that closer relate to human behavior, with them being a war-fraught people. However, though like in nature the better things in life often get snuffed out by brazen, domineering actors, in the case of which of the two species has an individual with higher intelligence, bonobos have conquered over chimps. Kanzi, born October 28, 1980, also known by the lexigram character shown here, which means fat, big, large, great, or excessive, is a male, known today as the world's smartest bonobo. Shortly after birth, Kanzi was stolen from his mother and, quote-unquote, adopted by a more dominant female, Matata, the chief leader of the group. Kanzi and his sister, Matata's actual offspring, moved to the Ape Cognition and Conservation Initiative, formerly the Great Ape Trust, in Des Moines, Iowa, where Kanzi resides now as the highest-ranking male of the resident community of bonobos. As an infant, Kanzi accompanied Matata to sessions where Matata was taught language through keyboard lexicograms, but showed little interest in the lessons. It was a great surprise to researchers when one day, while Matata was away, Kanzi began competently using the lexicograms, becoming not only the first observed ape to have learned aspects of language naturalistically rather than through direct training, but also the first observed bonobo to appear to use some elements of language at all. Within a short time, Kanzi had mastered the 10 words that researchers had been struggling to teach his adopted mother, and he has since learned more than 200 more. When he learns a spoken word, through headphones to filter out nonverbal clues, he points to the correct lexigram. In the matriarchal society of bonobos, a male's position is primarily determined by the position of the females he is related to. Matata was the group's chief leader, so after her death, Kanzi's status now holds as the highest-ranking male. It was established by him being adopted as her son. Now it's time for some anecdotes. In an outing in the woods of Georgia, Kanzi touched the symbols for marshmallows and fire. Susan Savage Rumbaugh said in an interview that, given matches and marshmallows, Kanzi snapped 2 twigs for fire, lit them with the matches, and toasted the marshmallows on a stick. Paul Raphael, at Savage Rumbaugh's request, performed a haka for the bonobos. This Maori war dance includes thigh slapping, chest thumping, and shouting. Almost all of the bonobos present interpreted this as an aggressive display and reacted with loud screams, tooth baring, and pounding the walls and the floor. Kanzi, who remained calm, communicated with Savage through bonobo vocalizations. Savage interpreted these vocalizations and said to Raphael, he'd like you to do it again just for him, in a room out back so the others won't get upset. Later, a private performance in another room was carried out. Savage Rumbaugh has observed Kanzi in communication to his sister. In this experiment, Kanzi was kept in a separate room of the Great Ape Project and shown some yogurt. Kanzi made some vocalizations that his sister could hear. His sister, Pambanishi, who could not see the yogurt, then pointed to the lexigram for yogurt, suggesting those vocalizations may have meaning. In one demonstration on the television show Champions of the Wild, Kanzi was shown playing the arcade game Pac-Man and actually understanding how to beat it. According to the research of Dr. Sue Savage Rumbaugh, Kanzi can understand individual spoken words and how they're used in novel sentences. An example being him asked to retrieve the carrot in the microwave, and passing by other carrots to retrieve the one specifically in the microwave. Although Kanzi learned to communicate using a keyboard with lexicograms, Kanzi also picked up some American Sign Language from watching videos of Coco the gorilla, who communicated using sign language to her keeper Penny Patterson. Savage Rumbaugh did not realize Kanzi could sign until he signed "You Gorilla Question" to anthropologist Don Prince Hughes, who had previously worked closely with gorillas. Based on trials performed at Yerkes Primate Research Center, Kanzi was able to identify symbols correctly 89% to 95% of the time, which is 100% more than me. When it's all said and done, I think what all of this scientific experimentation has done is show us that it's clear we're not the only intelligent creatures on this planet. This may seem obvious to everyone watching this video, but if you think about the worldview that the civilized world had hundreds of years ago regarding this matter, they looked at other animals simply as creatures that only existed on this planet to be used by us as God saw fit. And even still to this day, there are endless swaths of people that don't seem to understand how interconnected humanity is with all the other animals, not even just primates. We are all on this planet together and share so many similar traits. Things aside from survival, such as familial love, having fun, respecting our elders, and finding happiness through peace. And with that, I shall say this has been another episode of Monke in Review. Make sure to like and subscribe to spread the sacred word of Monke as far and wide. I've been your host and ambassador of Primate Nation, Joe Van. As always, I appreciate your time, wish you nothing but Monke love in your life, and wish you all sleep well, fellow primates. Until the next time, bye-bye.